You know, gardening is supposed to be relaxing, right? It's our way to get back to nature. But let's be honest, half the time it feels more like a battle. You're fighting with an aching back, confusing advice, and plants that just give up on you. Well, today we're going to look at how some seriously smart tech and just clever design are changing all of that, making gardening something anyone can actually enjoy.
Oh yeah, we have all been there. You spend a beautiful weekend planting, and come Monday morning, your back is just screaming, your knees are shot, and you're basically just praying that your new little green buddies make it through the week. But what if? What if all that pain and all that guesswork could just go away? Okay, so let's jump right into the first big idea here, what's being called the ergonomic revolution. And it's all about one thing, redesigning the tools so you can focus on the joy of gardening, not the pain of it. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly, right? We are moving away from the old way, all that constant bending, kneeling on hard, damp ground, and just straining to get things done. The new way, it's all about standing tall, having comfortable cushioning, and getting some real support. And the tools making this happen are just brilliantly simple. Okay, check this out. The 2-in-1 garden kneeler and seat. This thing is a total game changer. One way, it's this super soft kneeler that saves your joints. But the real magic is in those side handles. They give you all the leverage you need to get up and down without a single grunt. And then you just flip it over and boom, you've got a sturdy, comfortable little seat. It's such a simple fix for such a huge problem. And you don't have to take my word for it. People who use this thing absolutely rave about it. This review says it all. A true lifesaver. I mean, that's the kind of thing people say when you solve a real, nagging, painful problem. And that same idea applies to turning over the soil. You know, that tough, back-breaking work you have to do to get a garden bed ready? Well, now you can do it while standing completely upright, all thanks to tools like a manual rotary cultivator. And the secret sauce is right here in this analysis, the adjustable handle. That's not just some minor feature, that is everything. You just set the tool to match your height, you keep a good posture, and you let the spinning tines do all the heavy lifting. No more hunching over, no more back pain, simple as that. All right, so we're saving your backs. Now let's see how this work smarter, not harder idea can tackle probably the most hated chore in any garden. Weeding. This is where clever engineering is just chef's kiss. And this shows you just how ridiculously easy it can be with a stand-up weeder. I mean, look at this process. Step 1, you line up the claws and just step down with your foot. Step 2, lean the handle back, and these claws dive down and grab the entire root. And then step 3, my favorite part, you slide this little handle, and it shoots the weed right out. That's it. It's clean, it's fast, and honestly, kind of fun. This quote just hits the nail on the head. It's a double win. You're not just saving your back from all that bending, you're also protecting your garden's little ecosystem. You get the whole root so the weed is gone for good. And you do it without a single drop of nasty chemicals. Okay, so we've dealt with the physical stuff. Now let's switch gears from brawn to brains. The next big thing in home gardening is all about getting rid of the guesswork and replacing it with cold, hard data. This is the part I find absolutely fascinating. It's time to actually understand what your plants are trying to tell you. And this is the tool for the job, a 4-in-1 soil meter. Think of it like a doctor's checkup for your garden. Instead of just guessing what's wrong, you can get exact measurements on the 4 most critical things for a plant's health, and you can get them in seconds. So let's break down what it's telling you. So first up, you've got soil pH. This tells you if your soil is acidic or alkaline. And why does that even matter? Well, different plants are super picky about their pH levels. A reading of 6.8 like this, that's almost perfectly neutral, which is great for a ton of veggies. Knowing this number means you can actually fix your soil to give your plants exactly what they need. Next up, moisture. A 35% reading here is kind of the sweet spot. It tells you the soil is moist, but it's not a swamp. This is how you avoid the #1 killer of so many plants, overwatering. You water when the plant is actually thirsty, not just when you feel like it should be. Now here's one most of us probably never even think about. Soil temperature. But it's super important. Seeds just won't sprout if it's too cold, and a plant's roots can get totally stressed out if it's too hot. So a reading like 65 degrees Fahrenheit, that tells you it's go time for planting a lot of popular stuff. And finally, sunlight. This reading of 2640 lux, which is just a fancy way of measuring light, tells you exactly how bright a specific spot is. So now you can know for sure if that spot you thought was full sun is actually sunny enough for your tomatoes. No more guessing. And this review just captures that feeling perfectly. It's not really about the numbers, it's about the result. When you take the guesswork out of the equation, you get healthier, happier plants, and you suddenly feel like a much more confident gardener. All right, so you've worked in comfort, you've weeded like a genius, you've analyzed your soil like a scientist. There's just one final beast to slay. That chaotic mess of tools piled up in the corner of your garage. It's time to bring some beautiful order to your sanctuary.
And here is the answer, the freestanding tool organizer. What's so brilliant about this is how efficient it is. It just tucks right into a corner using space that was probably wasted anyway. But get this, it can hold up to 40 long tools like rakes and shovels. And the best part? No drilling, no finding studs, no hassle. Everything just slides right into its own spot.
And as this person points out, the benefit is huge. Yeah, it's practical. Your tools are finally upright, not in a tangled mess. But it's also mental. An organized space just feels calm. It feels efficient. And that's exactly the headspace you want to be in before you even step into the garden. So, when you put all of these pieces together, the comfy tools, the smart weeders, the data-driven meters, and the slick organization, a whole new picture of gardening starts to form. It becomes way more accessible, way more intelligent, and honestly, just a whole lot more enjoyable. And really, this is the big idea I want you to walk away with. Having a green thumb isn't about having a strong back anymore or some kind of magical intuition. Today's tools are completely leveling the playing field. They're making success in the garden less about your physical limits and way more about using a smart, informed strategy. Which really just leaves us with one last thought to chew on. What if a green thumb isn't some gift you either have or you don't? What if it's something you can actually build, piece by piece, with the right tools and the right information, creating your own success right there in your own backyard?